My next guest tonight is a founding member of the Kids in the Hall. You can also see him on the Larry Sanders Show. A lot of quality TV there. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, our buddy, our pal, Scott Thompson.
Thank you very much.
You know, we haven't seen you in a while. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm a little upset, though, at Andrew Cunanan's death. I mean, you know, it's good he's dead.
Right.
But as a gay celebrity, I could have worked that for a long time, you know.
You think so?
I think so. But I was a little upset because when it was happening, I was called by the FBI, and they told me that I wasn't on his death list. I was completely insulted.
You
I mean, can you
wanted to
imagine
be
that?
on
I'm like, well, come on. I mean, I'm not famous enough. Elton's on it, and I'm not on it. Sylvester Stallone's on it. He's not even gay, as far as I know.
The oddest thing to complain about I think I've ever heard about.
Is that really?
Yeah.
But, you know, another thing about the Andrew Cunanan thing was I was very interested to see that I had a lot of the pornographic tapes that he had. I looked at the...
What?
Well, you know, they did a thing about the tapes that he had and how, you know, he had a couple of them. And I went, oh, I have Roped and Delivered. And it's a good tape. And the boy in it is roped and delivered. So unlike a lot of movies, it does deliver what it promises. But apparently, if you've got Roped and Delivered, you're going to be a serial killer.
You know...
So, I mean, just because a guy likes a spanking once in a while doesn't mean that I'm going to kill people.
Uh-huh. You're just giving the same old celebrity take on this tragedy as everyone else.
Well, imagine if everybody that had Roped and Delivered was a serial killer, there'd only be a world of serial killers killing spankers. Do you know what I mean? That's not a world. That is a world that I live in.
Wait a minute.
That is the world I live in, Andy.
Okay.
You know, well, you know, you've seen, you know, you have Roped and Delivered.
Oh,
don't you?
well, actually, I just gave it to Salvation Army. We're cleaning out. So.
They're not giving it back.
Yeah.
I understand that you're doing stand-up now.
Yes,
You trying some of this stuff out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, don't do the Cunanan stuff.
I warm them up with
I
my...
like the Salvation Army joke.
Yeah, right.
Have it.
Always warm up an audience with your Cunanan hunk.
Yeah.
It's always gonna...
And then get into the gay sex stuff.
Yeah.
I find that, yeah, I've been doing stand-up. It's been going, well, it's interesting because I've been spoiled. Because, you know, I have an audience that wants to see me, but I find when I'm doing stand-up clubs, they're just there to see someone funny, not necessarily me. And, oh, no, that's all right. It's going to be funny. And so I was in Irvine, which is in Orange County.
Yes.
And my first night, I had 30 walkouts. They told me that I had more walkouts than anyone besides Norm Macdonald. And I thought, what? Why me and Norm? And I thought, well, because I thought before it was because I was gay. And I said, well, maybe it's because we're both Canadians.
Right.
And I thought, because, you know, there's so much prejudice here, you know that.
Right.
Wait a minute, you're Canadian?
Here you go.
Andy, come back.
Another walkout.
Andy, give him a chance.
But, so I said to the guy, you know, is it because, you know, it's because we're both Canadians and that? He goes, oh, no, it's because you both talk about gay sex too much.
And that's the reason they're... Well,
although Norm Macdonald talks about gay sex more than I do, I think, actually.
he does, yeah.
Because, well, I think he gave me Roped and Delivered. I'm going to return it. Norm, it's on its way. I got the Federal Express on its way.
I'm sure he's thrilled with your appearance on this show so far.
There he is.
Now, I'm curious about something, because that's a very conservative area that you're talking about.
Yes, it is.
So they just walk out, they get up, and they just clear out?
Yeah, and if they don't walk out, I found in one of my shows, someone stood up and yelled faggot at me. And you know, it hasn't been a long time since I've had that.
Yeah.
And I really miss it.
It can really...
I'm like, wow, I just, wait here. Wow, that's just the missing in my life hatred.
You count how many of those you get?
Well, please, you know.
I got 6 tonight.
6?
I killed.
Wow.
All right, now, how's it going on Larry Sanders? We should talk about something
Larry, it's going
life-affirming here.
Well, I mean, I haven't been doing it since Christmas because we take 10 months off. But last year...
You guys get 10 months off?
We work 5 months, we take off 10 months. It's a very hectic schedule. Where
Right.
Gary goes, I don't know. I mean, how long can you stay in a, you know, I don't know, a fat farm? I mean, whatever he's, I don't know where the hell he goes.
You were really looking for a way to alienate your sole employer.
I am.
How can I alienate the one guy that pays me? But is it fun? You're having a good time?
It's fun. And the great thing about it is I get to meet, like, stars, like, a year before.
Really? What's that like?
Well, that... well, you know... Actually, you're right. It is the worst part. I mean, there's a drawback. But the nice thing is I'll see a star like a year before they start to spiral out of control, which is nice.
Do they tell you? By the way, in a year, when are you spiraling out of control?
Well,
I think got a year.
I don't. When I worked with Farrah a year ago, she didn't tell me she was spiraling out of control, but her behavior kind of said that a year from now she'd be freaking out on Letterman. Let me just say.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I saw Farrah close up. And, well, you know, she looks like she had a facelift during a Coke binge.
Well,
more wrinkles than a Shar-Pei.
yeah. Gotcha. Well, I gotta say, Scott, in deference to Farrah, we had her on the show.
Oh, I heard that.
This is where I fend off the lawsuit, and we thought she looked very nice. She looked very good in person.
But
does that do it? Is that clear?
But then, how do I look in person? Pretty bad.
You're looking worse every second to me, my friend. But no, Farrah, but she's very nice, right?
She's very nice.
And she looks good. Come on. The woman is like in her 60s or something.
I think she's in her...
I'm not kidding. She's not. She's 55. And how old is she? She's in her late 70s. What is it, Andy?
She's in her late 70s.
I think the whole thing was that
she was a slave during the Civil War.
She turned 50.
What?
She turned 50, and that's why she covered herself in paint and hurled herself against mesh.
Very common.
She turned 50.
Very common. But her nipples are extraordinary.
Well,
no strangers to a clamp.
yeah. Well, you saved that segment. Thank you, Scott. I was worried that maybe we were getting into a bad area, and then, like a pro, you pulled out the nipples, and we were saved. Well, let's mention here, if you still have a job there, you'll be on the Larry Sanders Show on HBO.
I didn't say anything about... I called him a genius.
Yeah, you didn't mention genius, you mentioned Fat Farm.
No, Gary Stanley has a very good body, which is actually weird.
We can edit in health spa.
Yeah.
Health spa.
Health spa.
With
Genius.
a different voice.
Yeah.
Health spa. Health spa. Anyway, I mean, the guy's at a health spa. Yeah, we'll do some editing on the Farrah thing, too. I mean, up close, she looks quite beautiful. We'll have the whole thing taken care of. All right, everybody, the Larry Sanders on HBO. And now look for the film Hijacking Hollywood. Scott Thompson, it's always something. Why you?